Greetings. Today is the Solemnity of the Annunciation, the day in which we recall that the angel Gabriel appears to our Blessed Mother, and ultimately she gives her fiat, her yes, her consent to the role that she was to play in salvation history. Or as Mary herself says in Luke's Gospel, "Behold, I am the handmaid of the Lord. May it be done to me according to your word." Words which are very familiar to us. Our Blessed Mother gives us a great example, a great witness of what it means to follow God's will in our own lives. She didn't fully understand all that was happening. In fact, Luke says at the beginning of this exchange, she was greatly troubled and pondered what sort of greeting this might be. The angel calls her full of grace, and then later he says, "The Holy Spirit will come upon you, and the power of the Most High will overshadow you." It may have been very confusing. But in the end, Mary trusts. She trusts in God's grace. She trusts in His will. And God did not expect her to do it on her own. He gives her what she needs. I think sometimes we're too hard on ourselves. We expect, like the small child who insists on doing everything on their own, even when they're unable to, that we should be able to accomplish what God calls us to do all on our own. That we get to show or somehow prove to God that we are able to do it. But God doesn't expect that of us. Like Mary, we need to entrust ourselves to God's grace and to live according to His will, according to His plan for us, which we will be unable to do without His grace. The letter to the Hebrews says that we have been consecrated through the offering of the body of Jesus Christ once for all. In other words, His grace is enough. We must also remember that He hasn't left us alone. He hasn't abandoned us. The first reading for today's Mass ends with the prophecy of Isaiah saying, "Therefore the Lord Himself will give you this sign. The virgin shall be with child and bear a son, and shall name him Emmanuel," which means God is with us. God is indeed with us. That is what we celebrate today in this celebration, this feast of the Annunciation. God has given us Himself. God has given us so great a gift. He remains with us. Let us then follow the example of our Blessed Mother and entrust ourselves to Him, to His grace, and ultimately to say with her, "Here I am, Lord. I come to do your will."